Jesus. Oh, so god dang loud. Let's get it. Boy. Okay. That looks like an insurance company. That looks like a coffee shop. And this looks like a friggin' video game. Oh man, this music is so... I don't know how loud this is for you. I'm sure you can hear me just fine. Welcome, everyone, to a different Amnesia game. This is actually the first one in the series. Because if you've seen my one on the bunker that I did recently, think of that one as like Amnesia 4. This is Amnesia 1. So, a bit of context before this series gets started. After I had been seeing so much of the bunker, like on YouTube, and just researching it on and off, like outside of me actually uploading it, I've been seeing a lot of like speed runs of frictional games, like frictionals games, from Penumbra, Soma, and up to the bunker. But that's all the Amnesia games included in that. And it really made me want to play this one again, especially, like, it would be a good excuse to play it if I were to play it for the channel. This game is very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. Mine especially, I'm sure, like, same as a lot of other people, but it's a very good game. Not particularly scary, in my opinion, but still very good. Oh, that's right. Jesus, that's a small font. The way the game was supposed to be played, enemies would put... No, I'll just play normal. Oh, remember at the beginning of the bunker I said we were going to be zooming into the hole? That's what we just did. Because of... Oh, shit, here we go. I forgot how quickly this
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done?
What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus.
My
Name is...
I am Daniel.
Oh man. Phenomenal voice acting, and same as everything else that Frictional has ever participated in, either published or developed for themselves. Top tier audio design, like sound design. Oh my gosh. Here we go. It's good that they're reminding me what the thing is. Follow the liquid trail and find its source. That'd be the pink stuff over there. You want the little thing there. Thank you. So we can't see little boy Daniel's feet. That's a new thing. Normally we only see Henri's stuff. Oh, that is still the lean button. Good. Oh my gosh. No, he's falling over. Door. Scary noise. Oh my gosh, he's scared again. The camera will squish like that when Daniel is scared. There's an entire... You'll see here, there's like a whole sanity mechanic here. If you hear people talk about Amnesia, they'll probably mention this. I'm a bit scatterbrained right now. I had a rather eventful day today, relatively, so I'll try and keep up with the commentary and say what it is that I'd like to say. But oh boy. Right, yes. circle is just a normal crouch button, just like in the shooters. It's nice. So what I'm picking up here are tinderboxes. You can see in the tooltip at the top there. I think even like 13 years later, the bunker has the exact same flashing red text. The hint. Oh my gosh. Get up, sir. Get up. Oh. Sorry for the visual tearing and distortion. Maybe not tearing, but Daniel will snap out of whatever funk he's in right now. Just in a sec. Well, this is the path that Daniel walked at the beginning. Whatever it was, was spilling it rather crazily. Oh. Yeah, the camera tilt and all this, it's very effective, but oh, it can be a bit annoying, I understand. You're gonna see the beginning of like the world building for the series as well, of course. There, the door slammed shut behind him, and he knew he would never again see the old tailor at Berkeley Square. Another lone soul in London. Seemed appropriate somehow. This is one of the things that the bunker terribly missed out on, were those loading screens. They give you like background on the characters in the world. Oh God. All these creepiness events. No. Turn on lights in the environment using tinderboxes. Oh my gosh. Oh, that lantern has hops, dude. Are there any, like, stuffs? Could have sworn there was, yes. Big chest. Big tinderbox. We can see Daniel's weird, like, not very detailed hand. Far cry from Henri's stuff. When I was thinking about playing this for the channel, there was so much stuff that I remember wanting to say. So many stuff I wanted to talk about, but I feel like it's escaping me somehow. Almost like I'm the one who has amnesia.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Well, that's a bit heavy. Sure is a good way to set up what the game's about to be about, though. It's about to be about a thing. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canterbury. He made sure to pay a visit to avoid a sense of guilt connected with neglect of family. Playing the pronoun game here with the loading screens, it can be a bit difficult to realize who it is at the... Okay. Thank you.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
It's tough and pliant. It can't be torn by hand or tools. You could squish under this, though, for sure. For show, for show. This series will be a bit shorter than the bunker because I actually know what I'm doing. I might take my sweet time, like, because I know where everything is, but... So, like, everything that I do, I know exactly what the outcomes are. Like me leaving the game early. Just kidding, I'm not allowed to leave the game early. I don't want to go to the laboratory yet. I don't know why I almost pronounced it like that. No, I refuse. If only Henri were here, he would break these off with his own hands. Yeah, half the game, there are doors, like, that I can't open at all. The other children cheered him on, his name voiced in a steadily rising pace, urging him to do it. Am I really doing this? The young boy thought, and struck his victim with a rock.
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
I mean, would he really be a Britishman if he wasn't stealing another country's people's stuff and bringing it back to the museum? So, I'm afraid that if you enjoyed my series on the bunker, I may just not have a lot to say, I guess. Playing this because I already know half the stuff. I guess I'm just trying to think of what to say, but I came up with the story as we were entering the archives here. Just hold on. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, and my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, that should be another comma after in addition, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Gerich. Interesting. So I first got introduced to Amnesia through a YouTuber that I used to watch as a kid named Chimney Swift 11, and I don't know if that guy is still on YouTube or not. Yeah, there's some creepy noises that play throughout here. And he wasn't even playing the actual Amnesia main game. The Amnesia series is known for, like, kind of like Minecraft, promoting custom maps that the community can make.
17th of May, 1839.
Just give me a sec,
My
sorry.
hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Dude, I have no problem shutting the hell up and just, like, listening to Daniel pop off, because this game, like, functions like an audiobook sometimes. And it really is only this game. I know I did it for Henri's diary in that game as well, but... Let me see here. Isn't there a... I could have sworn there was a... Here we are. So, Daniel being afraid of the dark, his sanity will go down very, very, very slowly if you stay in the dark for too long. Well, somebody is playing that piano. I can't remember if they ever put anything in there. Okay. Some of the smaller cues I can't remember if they actually happen. I swear, man, they put... They won't, but I'm just saying. If I had to come across the bunker monster, that would be rather scary.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble, and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Well, that wasn't in the flashback. Oh, great. Well, now I'm stuck. So, what sanity does in this game, because I know what this note is, we're gonna have another audio section here. The sanity doesn't actually, like, really do anything. It's just for flair. I think the reason that Frictional never put it in their, like, later games, like, not really, was just because it didn't actually end up having a use. You'll see how little difference it makes for the game as we go on, but... I'll continue the story I was gonna tell before the second page. I forgot to continue my story. Well, I'll continue it after this page.
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light.
This is me moving him, by the way.
I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Interesting. That's a tiny thing. I need a big thing. You're a notably big thing. Get over here. How do I throw stuff? Okay. I figured out how to throw stuff.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Oh god. Broke the second one. What are we for time? Really? We're almost half hour already? Jesus. Okay. This is gonna be a longer note. We'll try to get through this. Allstadt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Allstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them which reveal their presence. What dark schemes do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Allstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. I'm never going to be able to read the word fortnight and keep a straight face. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. I distracted myself there for a moment. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. Must be Green Chernobyl or something. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Allstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The immortal Baron happened, I imagine. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Allstadt, and like most those of noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. It's not a bad read, honestly. Like, you know, could be that I'm just a good reader. Alright. Regarding closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I'll feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. We'll hear more about them later. Before the episode ends here, I'm gonna finish my story. So, I first came across Amnesia, you know, with that YouTuber, Chimney Swift. Okay, well, that's a thing that happened. I'm gonna stop. I knew that was gonna happen. I just wanted to scare you while I was telling my story, because I'm a dick. And this guy, Chimney Swift, was playing a custom map, and it was interesting to me, but I didn't pick up, like, I didn't even know what Amnesia was. It just seemed like a really cool game. It seemed a bit more mature, too, so I was, as a kid, I was, like, really happy to play it. A handful of sand trickled from the crumbling stone ceiling and pushed down to the brim of his hat. He braced himself as the cavern suddenly shifted and settled. Ouch. Ugh. Ouch. Ugh. All is good, huh? Okay. And so, I used to tell my family, like, for example, my dad, about this game that I saw one of my favorite YouTubers playing. Because Chimney Swift, this guy, mainly played Amnesia. And so, the stone slab looked like a safety measure. It wasn't meant to be moved ever again. I don't know if I should be reading these for you. Maybe you'll, like, I wouldn't want me to speak over them, so I figured I might as well just read them. Because those are very interesting. Oh shit, I don't want to do the wine cellar part. I could probably do this real quick. Good way to finish off the episode. And give me time to actually finish my fucking story, as long as no more flashbacks happen.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Okay, well, let's hope no more things interrupt me. A barrel? Ugh. Yeah, I'm unmuted, right? Okay, that's good. Jesus. I don't want to be cracking all these jokes and you don't actually get to hear them. That would be kind of sad. there's like a thing or two back here. Here we are. So I used to tell my dad and one of my cousins who was older than me. I used to tell him, well, the two of them separately, about
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Accept it. We're not getting out of here alive.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
good God. Okay, I'm gonna finish this note, finish my story, and I'm not leaving this room. I'm just gonna end the episode here. Clearly, this game is a bit too dense to give me the opportunity to do that naturally. Oh, okay. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed knight of the order would want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past, and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I've brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... Well, at least he can write properly when he's mutating into one of the gatherers. That's generous of him. Anyway. That's another thing. I'm not going to be reacting to a lot of stuff I've read because I already, like, know the story in the back of my mind. It's mainly for you that I read those. And it's also just fun to read. But I played this game. Like, my dad ended up getting a demo, like the demo of the game. And I tried it as a kid, but I thought it was the full thing. So I would have beaten the demo by now. Like, you could easily beat the thing in half an hour. And then, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna continue the story at the end of the part. That'll be the cliffhanger. I'll see you guys next time when we get the last piece of what it is I'm collecting here.